What is up, ladies and gentlemen? You see that's right. I'm Chris Smith. Today I'm going to be talking about Batman. Why Batman 1989? Because apparently it is Batmania. Everybody's having a bat catastrophe, so why not talk about Batman and just join into this thing leading up to Dawn Justice? So let's do this a little bit differently, this review. Not really positive, negative, just my thoughts on Batman just in general, right? So overall, people think that Batman 1989 is kind of a Joker movie per se, and I can kind of see why people will say that, and for the most part it kind of is. I think Joker does have a little bit more screen time, but Batman has more of the better written character, and he has more of a complex role. Now, Jack Nicholson, his character doesn't really have that much development per se. Like, yeah, you kind of say he does, but it really kind of ends right up to the Ace Chemical. After that, it's kind of just a very one note gangster, goofy guy with jokes. And that's pretty much all he really does in this movie. Now, Jack Nicholson's fantastic in the film. He's great at being Jack. But unfortunately, he doesn't really do that much other than being a very one-note, goofy, joking type of guy. There's really not much to his character. Michael Keaton, on the other hand, does kind of get destroyed in the stick because a lot of people think just because he doesn't have that much screen time, he doesn't have enough to do. That is not necessary per se. He has a lot of things going for him, and there's very a lot of subtleties into this movie that kind of showcase Batman's character, right? For an example, where this movie kind of does do a very good job of Batman is like when he's at the party, right? And he goes in the back, he's like seeing everybody on camera. I think this movie does show a good enough job of trying to showcase that Batman is very paranoid, right? He's looking at everything. He's looking at this place, looking there, and you'd be like, well, that's just his house. He wants to monitor everything. And you could kind of say that, yeah. But Batman is just supposed to be a paranoid guy that he can't even rest for one day without like watching pretty much the entire city. And I feel like that's what that kind of symbolized in that shot where he's like watching everybody in the house. Essentially, it's him watching over the city pretty much in his own way. Also, I'm going to be kind of like looking at notes here particularly is that I did like that. A lot of people don't like this. I did like the Joker kind of killing his parents. I didn't like it at first, but I did like it later on, particularly because if you think about it, right, Joker and Batman also has this weird relationship where everybody's saying, why don't you just kill Joker? But since Joker was the guy that killed his parents, it would put him in a more harder position to restrain himself and to add an interesting part of their relationship to actually see Batman is still not willing to kill the guy that actually killed his parents. Now, granted, did they kind of carry it out that way really in the movie? No, because eventually the Joker dies. So therefore, it really made no sense. But if he actually stayed alive in like the comics or whatever for this part of the story, it actually would have been very interesting to see how much of a restraint he would have put on himself, considering the man killed his parents. This was the guy who made him who he is. That's another thing I really didn't like in the movie per se was that when he says, you made me, but I made you, you made me first, or whatever. Joker even says it himself. It doesn't seem like a child, and it is kind of like a bit of a child thing. Personally, the conversation with Vicky Vale and Bruce, and in the mansion or whatever, it really does kind of showcase Bruce Wayne's character and his world and his mindset. Where he talks about how this house is not really me per se, but some of it is very much me. There's very small subtleties in this movie that really showcases more Batman's character than is on the page per se, or like right in front of your face. Joker's motives are pretty right in front of your face, or his character's right in front of your face, but Batman's things are a little bit more underlined and it's a bit kind of like underneath the covers per se. I did like the swerve at the opening scene, right? The opening scene where you kind of see these two, the family kind of getting mugged, and you'd probably be like, okay, well, this is Bruce Wayne, but it's not Bruce Wayne. It's actually just another family. And I think that kind of showcased that this was supposed to be like Batman's way of showcasing that no other family would pretty much be mugged again, right? That was his lifelong mission, to make sure nobody goes through what he actually went through. So I thought that was actually good. And obviously the I'm Batman line is great. This movie also did a very good job at kind of not making you know what time period it was. It was a little bit like a 40s noirish thing, but then a bit of a modern time. So they had a nice blend, and obviously the style of Batman 1989 is fantastic. It has a very nice gothic feel because you look at Metropolis in like Superman 78, very bright, very sunny. You look at Gotham's like shitty and dirty, whatever it may be. But yeah, also the funniest thing in this movie is in the Belfry. Remember at the end the Belfry fights? That's a very fun thing and a very awesome fight. Personally, some of the fight scenes in the movie is a little bit clunky for the most part, but they're still fun to see, whatnot. But you can clearly tell that was a stunt double. So at the end of the thing, when Joker is dancing with Vicky Vale in the Belfry, right? Vicky Vale's trying to play him. She goes down on the Joker, and you can see his face. Well, she's going down, right? She's like, I shit you not. You can watch it again. I said this in another video, but watch it. She gives him head pretty much. But yeah, this thing is pretty much a fantastic thing. It's just that a lot of things in Batman 89 just kind of work, and it not all of it does, personally, like some of the fight scenes or whatever. But Michael Keaton as a whole is great, and Jack Nicholson is fun to watch just in general, and he looked like he having a blast. The museum scene is also cool. The Batmobile is still by far the best Batmobile, and Michael Keaton is still my favorite Batman. He's the only Batman out of the other few Batmans, other than like Christian Bale, obviously, that I actually would like to have fantasized and seen against like Superman or something. For some reason, he's the only one. But yeah, the final battle is great, the Belfry thing, and I really did enjoy it. But that's my kind of thoughts on Batman 1989. Also, we really didn't need Knox. I feel like he was just a pointless character. And my favorite line in here is by Grissom, and he says, they're drinking Drano. By far, I think the funniest line in there. But that's just kind of my thoughts on Batman 1989. If you enjoyed it, great. Comment, subscribe, and like. I'm Chris Smith, and I'm signing out.